So I want to show you a trick that's going to help you when you're trying to learn difficult parts for music or just anything else, really. So when you're on YouTube, you're going to go down to this little gadget looking thing right here and click on playback speed. And you can choose 75%, 50%, just anything. You can even speed it up if you want. That's basically it. It actually helps a lot when you're learning complex fills or grooves or whatever. I do it a lot. I just never thought about talking about it until I saw one of my friend's TikToks and he made a video talking about this. So let me know if it helps you out. You know, one of my friends was telling me when he got his computer, like his new M1 computer, he didn't know if the fans worked on it because he had never heard them turn on. And when I heard that, I was like, okay, yeah, they probably turn on. You're just exaggerating. I haven't heard the fans turn on this computer at all. And I've edited full videos with it. I've done drum stuff and music production stuff with it. Nothing. I mean, it might not have fans. I don't really know. So I want to start a new segment in the vlog called Story Time, and the title being fairly obvious on what the segment's going to be about. I want to share a story with you. So for those of you that don't know, I did attend college, but I never actually graduated. This is me in the dorms. It was our Christmas card. And there were a couple of reasons for me not graduating, and I want to kind of share the thought process and just the things that kind of led me to making that decision of dropping out of college after 3 years in. So first, I'll just go on the record saying that school was never my favorite thing to do. This is in high school. Look at that hair. I'm the type of person I need to have a reason for something, and I just didn't really see the reason for school, and because of that, it made it very challenging for me to actually do my best and to really thrive and succeed in an environment like school. And because of that, I spent a lot of my life thinking that I wasn't good at school, I wasn't book smart, and I couldn't learn things. But I only found out later, after I was out of school, that I learned differently. And when I'm given the correct tools, then I can learn and pick things up like everybody else. So back to the college thing. When I was in college, my major, I jumped around a couple times, but my first major was kinesiology, which that's basically, I wanted to be a physical therapist. I think I was in college, yeah, in college. After about a year, I switched my major, and the next major was electrical engineering. And I did that because my dad is an electrical engineer. At this point, I always wanted to do music. I just didn't have I wasn't honest with myself, and I was just trying to get a job that was safe and secure and paid really well, and my dad's job pays fairly well, so I just decided to go into that. Me going into the same field as my dad, that obviously made them excited and happy. But after about a year of that, I decided that wasn't for me. So then I went to business, and then eventually from business I'm more into music business, and that's kind of where I landed for the last little bit of my college career. Now, while I was in school, I was actually gigging and playing at different places, both church, in and out of church. Because of that, eventually I started having to miss class, and because I was missing class so many times, it was actually hurting my grades. The teachers were taking points off for me not being in class. And at this point, I knew that I wanted to do music full time. I had kind of already bit the bullet. I told my parent, I was full gung-ho, full steam ahead doing music. And that's the reason I switched to music business, because I wanted to have, a business sense while I was doing this music thing. After about a couple of months of being extremely frustrated and honestly hating school and resenting everything about it, I kind of had this revelation. I don't know if it was a conversation I had with somebody. I honestly don't remember where or when I had this revelation. I just remember having it, that I'm going to school to do music, and I'm doing music right now full time, but I'm being penalized for it. So why am I going to school and accumulating all of this debt? Bills I'm gonna have to pay when I get out of school, when I'm doing what I want to do already, when I haven't even graduated yet. So once that happened, this is where I wouldn't recommend you do this. If you're in the same situation as me, then I would recommend talking it out with somebody that you trust. And then if your parents are helping you out with bills or anything like that, then bring it to them. Do not do what I did. Now you're probably wondering what I did. So what I actually did was, once I realized that, I just stopped going to class altogether. And because of that, I got F's in everything. And my parents found out that I wasn't going to school when grades came out, and they asked to see them. And long story short, there was a rocky couple of weeks. Eventually they came around to the idea, and I learned a lot of lessons in that, mostly being if I want to do something, just go ahead and commit to it. Looking back, I would rather have known that I tried something and failed versus never even starting it because I was scared. Failure itself isn't a bad thing. It's what you do with that failure the next time that you want to do something that determines if the failure was helpful or not. Okay, that's about it. Thanks for listening to my little story. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you are in that kind of position and you just need to talk to somebody, feel free to reach out to me or just anybody. Okay. Man, going through those photos, what is it about going through old photos or old videos that just I'm a firm believer in going back and looking at those things every once in a while. It makes you appreciate how far you've come and all that stuff. I'm also a sentimental guy, so there's that too. Remember that from a couple vlogs ago? So I need to confess something to you. I should have told you earlier. Remember last week when I talked about my hip hurting? Well, because it hurt, I decided not to run at all this week, so I haven't ran for a few days now. That's it. That's the secret. I will say, since I'm not running in the mornings and I don't have to worry about any of the proxy stuff that I had to do with my old computer, I've had like an extra 2 hours every single day, and that's kind of nice. What the hell is this? That's a cool little house. The fence is also for sale. I like that. Time for a little studio update. Not a big one, just a small one. So I have this monitor right here. I have to use an HDMI cable to get the feed from the computer over here all the way over here. Now the problem is I used this cable before. It has a USB-C because of this computer, because there's no HDMI ports. No HDMI ports. And that was the longest HDMI to USB-C cable that I could find, and it barely reached. It didn't really reach, but it worked. But long story long, I'm replacing a cable for a longer cable.